Skate Summer. This is your review for 2. Good day, my name is Joe. Today I'll be going over Skate Summer and how it plays with 2 players. Now Skate Summer is a 2 to 5 player competitive skating game where you'll be skating across this city and collecting certain things. You'll be collecting these skater letters. You're going to be collecting these tokens, these boxes, these bells, these spray cans, upgrading your gear and upgrading your skills to score points by doing tricks. And whoever crosses the finish marker first will trigger the end of the game. You'll score some points if you completed the word skater. You'll score some points on how many of the gear tokens you have, and whoever has the most points will win the game. So let's see a little bit more how to play. So in Skate Summer, the first thing you're going to do with a little bit of simultaneous play is actually do the tricks. Everybody starts with a hand of 5 cards. You'll be playing tricks on your board, moving, your balance around and just adjusting the balance. And every trick you add, you're going to add another one of these dice. So you're going to add some more dice, and they're going to even move your board to the left or right. You start off with pretty minimal balance. You can get extra throughout the game by collecting some letters, but that's kind of the simultaneous play. Is you play your tricks, you have that push your luck element. Every trick you play, you can be moving balance back and forth, but every also trick you play, you're going to be adding another dice to the pool, and eventually, you can get to the point where one bad, roll of the dice can really send you on one way and you're going to bail. And so you can choose to land, you can upgrade a skill, but essentially after that, you're going to have a few cards that you did play during your tricks. You're going to score those based on your skills. There's 3 types of cards. There's the vert ramp, there's the rails, and then there's the street tricks that you can do. You have 3 different upgrade tracks, and you're going to score points on how many of those times what level that they're kind of at. That's how you kind of get the majority of your points in this game. And then you're going to go on to the kind of interesting phase. This one's not as simultaneous. You're going to use the tricks that you played to move across this board. Each one of these spaces has either a vert ramp, a rail, or a street, and you're going to look at what you actually played, completed tricks, and you're going to move across the board. You can try to collect these skater letters, which will give you some more upgrades. You can spend some of your currency to try to get some of these collectibles. The currency in this game is used to get the collectibles and to kind of upgrade your skater. You don't want to bail because you'll lose half of it. It's just a neat kind of interesting game where it's do your trick, try not to fall, score your trick, use those trick cards to move across the board, kind of clean up, pass it over, and do it all again. So let's see a little bit more what I thought about the game. So let's talk about the components. I really like the components. The boards are, well, they're a skateboard, and it's just kind of interesting. I really like how they did the components as far as the balance. You really feel like, when you play a card on one side of the skate, you're really tipping the balance to the other side, tipping back the balance. Just neat components. They give you, these dice to roll. I will say, as far as the components, this board is a little bit hard to look at because of all the pastel colors, but man, there's some really neat artwork when you really dive into the board. The rules, very easy to learn. This is one of those games I could probably even pick off the shelf and start to play. Not too many references, but also not too many needed. The back of the rule book with a really quick and easy round overview is almost just enough. Let's talk about table size. Table sizes can definitely be played on a 3x3 with 2. Can probably be played on a 3x3 with all 5, for sure 4. I like the compact table size. Ours is a little bit spread out, but I got components everywhere that could really be condensed. Setup, I think setup maybe 10 minutes max, on average probably about 5. Once again, one of those easy games to pick up off your shelf and actually get to the table in a reasonable amount of time. Let's go into the gameplay. And this is kind of the fun part about the game is your first move off the back is to decide what kind of gear upgrade are you going to get? What kind of these letters are you going to try to collect? The E over here lets you upgrade for cheaper all your skills, which gets you more points faster, but you're banking on not having some of these other letter upgrades, which increase your balance or can give you a double upgrade at the end of the round. And some of them let you have more cards in your hand, or this R lets you get more special if you as you play bigger and bigger trick combos. So there really is a neat decision right off the bat, but it feels like you have a lot of choice, and that it's not so open that you're going to have a lot of AP in this game. You're not going to have that person at the table really think what you're going to play. It's a game about balance. You play your card, you move your your balance bar down here. The first player will roll some dice. You'll adjust the balance, decide if you want to land or keep up with your combo. It's kind of just that easy, nice little game loop. Simultaneous play. Everybody's going to move their board in the same direction when these dice are rolled, but there's enough choice in the cards you have. There's a little bit of randomness, so not every game's gonna play the same. You're gonna kind of have to adapt. There's a couple different ways you can play. This game kind of has a little bit of everything. There's the set collection in a minimal way, but a set collection of are you going to collect boxes? Making sure you have some spray cans and bells. Do you spend your flame? As you do tricks, you get some flame tokens. Do you spend those flame tokens on upgrades, or do you really try to do set collection and hope that the other side gives you a little bit of bonus and can score you those points at the end of the game? There's this game is not complicated, but there's at the same time a lot to it and enough choice, and even at the same time a little bit of the push your luck. Do you want to do that extra trick? Each one of these dice is a 50-50 shot of, is it even going to move you or not? This one, 50-50 shot of which way you're going to balance. So it gives you that opportunity, to push your luck, to that comeback mechanic, which can also lead to, if you are winning, you can win a little bit more if you've collected some good upgrades. There's been a couple times where one person pulls off a 5-card combo while the other person bails on, card 3, which means they really have 2 cards to kind of move around and deal with. But that's the name of the game. This game is just about balancing your board, playing your cards, getting some upgrades, and just an overall pretty good experience. So we're just gonna go right at it. Is this game good for 2? Well, I put on the Tony Hawk soundtrack, and I wore my Blink-182 t-shirt, and I felt like I was playing, the Tony Hawk game all over again. I was having a good time with 2 players. It moves fast. The box says 45 to 60 minutes. I recorded our last play, and it took 30. So, our first game did take around the 50 minutes or so, but every game has gotten shorter and shorter. And our last game took a nice 30 minutes. So to me, this fits that 1 hour kind of 2-player experience. And the interesting thing is when you add more players, it's not going to add that much more time. It will add a little bit because every player has to think about how they're going to move individually. But the first part about it, the trick playing, the combos that you're going to be doing are all simultaneous. So that's really neat. For the 2-player experience, I don't think you would get too much more out of, it's going to play the same really at 2 all the way to 5. There's no really, space blocking per se. There is this track on when you complete the trick or complete your combo or bail, you put your token over here. There is a little bit of play on what do you need for the round, but other than that, it's going to play the same at a lot of player counts, and that's kind of what I enjoy about this game. Is I could see us playing, in a 4-player night, but for 2 players, this is just a fun game. It's nice and light and jovial. You know, I really like the heavy games, but something about this game kind of brings out that nostalgia of, you know, just thinking about doing skateboarding tricks, playing the old games. I'm not a skateboarder myself, but I always do envy, you know, the ones that can do the kick flips and all that stuff like that. So I was really into the Tony Hawk games kind of growing up. So, you know, every time you see one of these cards where you do the trick in the game, it really just kind of brings it back. You know, grinding on the walls to get those school bells, or jumping over the crates and collecting, doing some special tricks that can, you know, manipulate some of the die just for you, and really bringing out those big combos. When you do a six trick combo, it feels really good to score a lot of points, you know, kind of near the end of the game, and really be able to manipulate how you move. There's some of these manual tokens to let you move an extra space even though you don't have the card. But for 2 players, this is a nice tight game, 30-40 minutes or so. This is one of those hour time blocks that you can just pick up off the shelf, set up, play, put it back, all within the hour. And sometimes you just need some of those games in your collection. Is this the most enthralling game and most brain burner game that we own? No. But is this just a fun, light game where you can it's just a good board game? And for 2, I do recommend it. Do you need it in your collection? Probably not, but is this a great game? Yes, it is. If you get a chance to play it, I highly recommend it. Really fun with 2, just interactive. Would be just as fun with 4 or 5. So really enjoy this game. Do you need it? No, but man, we have had a great time with Skate Summer. So hope you guys enjoy the review, and until next time.